My fellow American patriots, who among us can claim that our nation is in good health today and back that up with facts? It's true that a few people are doing well, but there are so many that are struggling. As a whole, it's clear that our nation is afflicted with many serious problems. In reality, our nation and our democracy have been declining for many years. It is this feeling and the sense that we are approaching a crisis that motivates us to find a cure. Whether you lean to the left or lean to the right, I believe that you are dissatisfied with the circumstances that we face and you want answers. That is precisely why we are here today. To solve our national problems, we've always looked to the political parties of the left and the right. Each party has a platform, which is a set of standards and goals that they support. Platforms may shift, especially when people become less satisfied with their direction. When people feel that their party's platform has failed to meet their expectations, they will look elsewhere to find a better choice. But what defines a better choice? What proves that a platform is either right or wrong? Of course, politicians make them sound good with their flowery speeches, but it's insufficient to say that the people believe in it. To determine the correctness of the platform's initiatives, they must be put to the test. Success is measured by whether they do or do not achieve their goals and do so without causing collateral harm. Since each party has held political power recently, we can put them both to the test and judge the level of success that each has had in achieving their goals. What are the political goals of the left? They say, we believe in human rights, equality, inclusion, and social welfare. If we disregard all of the talk, all of the media hype, and focus entirely on the facts, how have they done in achieving these goals? Starting with human rights, we can consider one of our fundamental rights, the right to life. Access to affordable, quality health care is part of that right. Yet tens of millions of Americans cannot afford the health care that they need. Protection from violent crime is also part of that right. But the murder rate is at a record level across our nation, due in part to the efforts of the left to reduce the size of police forces. Then, what about equality? The opportunity for economic prosperity is so unequal now that it's a tremendous problem, and it's only getting worse. The poor continue to fall further and further behind everyone else. In order to improve equality, the left has turned to equity, which is basically taking opportunities away from some in order to give it to those less qualified. This has caused collateral harm since it is a form of discrimination and has led to resentment and ill will. The left claims to be in favor of inclusion, but works tirelessly to divide Americans into groups of us and them. For example, they point to the poor status of some African Americans, suggesting that it is caused by white privilege. They say that women are being treated unfairly by men, that poor and middle class are being taken advantage of by the rich, and the LGBTQ community is being discriminated against by everyone else. How despicable is it to divide our nation, pitting one group of Americans against another? We, the American patriots, say there is no us and them. There is only us. We must free ourselves from the concepts of class and division We are all one people. And then there is the goal of social welfare. It is surely a noble cause to focus on the welfare of the poor and needy. But the poverty rate is increasing. The left does much to provide handouts to the poor, but never a hand up to help them escape poverty. Then, how about the goals of the right? Looking at the big picture, they say, we believe in liberty, economic prosperity, preserving American values and traditions, and restoring the American dream for every citizen. Comparing these goals with reality, you have to admit they have not been achieved. They say they believe in liberty, but what have they done to maintain our freedom? Have they removed the censorship that social media giants impose on us? Have they addressed the smear campaigns that occur when someone says something that others don't like? After all, freedom of speech is one of our constitutional rights. Have they freed us from fear by implementing laws to keep guns out of the wrong hands? I don't know how it is where you live, but gun-related murders have doubled compared to the prior year in the county that I live in. How could they sit there idly by and watch while tens of thousands of Americans die from gun violence each year? Have they freed us from workplace abuse? When employers lay off half of the workforce and expect the rest to work twice as hard to keep up? No, they have not. What about economic prosperity? Has the poverty rate gone down? No. There are 38 million men, women, and children living in poverty in America today, and that number is increasing. How about income equality? They give big tax breaks to the rich, but sorry, not so much for everyone else. With that said, the right has not even come close to restoring the American dream for every citizen. So as you can see, each side is falling well short of their respective platform goals. More importantly, this demonstrates that they are both ill-equipped to meet our nation's most pressing needs. The question is, why are they falling short? The answer to this question is twofold. First, neither one has revealed their ultimate goal, one that takes priority over all of the other goals outlined in their platforms. That goal is to gain power. To gain power, they need votes. And to gain votes, they need money. Whenever there are conflicting goals, gaining power always takes priority. Allow me to illustrate. The cost of health care has risen faster than wages for many years in a row, resulting in prices that are out of reach for many Americans. The parties could rein in on those costs, but the healthcare industry would cease to contribute to their campaigns, resulting in loss of money for votes and votes for power. As a result, the parties want us to think that they are doing something about the cost of health care, but look at the reality. Their efforts are half-hearted and pitifully inadequate. As to the second reason, party leaders often conceptualize only part of the picture. They tend to think either in liberal terms, such as emotional concepts, imagination, and creativity, or conservative ones, such as mathematics, facts, and logic. Neither side is equipped to fully grasp all of the aspects of an issue and arrive at the best way to solve it. For this reason, each side exhibits poor problem-solving skills. You've seen it. Here's an example. The left prefers to increase welfare subsidies, while the right maintains a focus on the cost of government programs. So when the left is in charge, they tend to be kind-hearted but big spenders, and the right, cost-conscious but cold-hearted. Now, for those of you who are thinking that if the parties work together, they could come up with better solutions, you are exactly right. But let's be realistic, that's not going to happen because it's in their very nature to oppose each other. They don't work together. So I ask you this question then. Has the government made your life better than it was 5 to 10 years ago? The answer for the vast majority of Americans is no. So why then do we keep turning to the same political parties for answers when we consistently get the same results? Today I have clearly shown that the political parties consistently fail to keep the promises of their platforms. They prioritize the acquisition of power over the good of the people and have a propensity for solving our nation's problems in the most ineffective ways. How can we, the American people, continue to have faith in these parties? Historians of the future will have a hard time understanding how droves of asinine politicians and their media cohorts have deceived the American people for so long and made us look like fools. I regard the facts that I have presented today as undeniable proof that our political parties are corrupt. We, the American patriots, seek national restoration. Unlike the political parties, we have only one goal, and that is to serve all of the people of this great nation. Thank God we are not a political party, because we've seen just how bad they are. We are a political movement. Our movement was formed in order to rescue our nation in its greatest hour of need. We have inscribed upon our banner the time-honored American symbols of red, white, and blue. Red, the color of blood and fire, is associated with strength and determination. The red circle stands for the courage, leadership, and tenacity that we must demonstrate in order to maintain the strength of our great nation. White stands for purity, for everything good and right, for truth, justice, and the American way. The white star stands for the people, who are the central figure and the core of our nation. And blue is the color of the sky and the sea. It is associated with depth and stability. The blue background stands for a strong, stable, and enduring America. Please join us by subscribing to this channel and sharing this video so that our cause can be heard across our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Many months of sacrifice and self-discipline lie ahead, months in which both our patience and our will be tested, months in which many threats and denunciations will keep us aware of our dangers. But the greatest danger of all would be to do nothing. The path we have chosen for the present is full of hazards, as all paths are. But it is the one most consistent with our character and courage as a nation and our commitments around the world. The cost of freedom is always high, but Americans have always paid it. And one path we shall never choose, and that is the path of surrender or submission.